Hey guys, it's Becca. Yes, new video in about like 4 weeks and I'm so sorry about that. But I had musical and homework and the topic of this video, I went to Florida. I went to Florida for my 16th birthday and I went there for Playlist Live and I met so many amazing YouTubers and was so inspired that I figured I'd make a nice little vlog about my experiences. Hope you enjoy. Okay, so Saturday morning we woke up at like 7 a.m. and went over to the Caribe Royale, which is the hotel in the convention center that Playlist Live is being held in. We waited online in a basketball court, or a tennis court, for like 2.5 hours, just waiting to get inside. It was crazy and everyone was sweating, but it was honestly so much fun being online with my sister who went with me. And it was just nice to see that like other people are also aspiring YouTubers and are also really into the YouTube community. So when we got inside, I had no idea, because I totally forgot to check my schedule. I had no idea what I wanted to do, what I wanted to look at. So I kind of just ran straight for the expo hall, which is where basically the main center of everything was, where panels would be, merchandise, and just a bunch of cool booths. So I kind of booked it with my sister to the front of the expo hall, and lo and behold, a beautiful panel happened with the one and only Tyler Oakley and the babe Troye Sivan. As you can see here, maybe, I don't know, editing, here is a photograph that I took, and the best part is that Troye beautifully waved to one of my YouTubers, Ben J. Pierce, who I actually got to meet. Photograph here. He was so sweet and just so genuine and sincere about meeting the people who I guess make his dreams true. I'm so proud of how far he's come. Like, he literally just interviewed Tyler Oakley, which is such a big deal, and it was just an honor. And he looks so cute in his little flower crown. Like, I just love him so much. After the trailer panel, basically any meetups, panels, anything related to Playlist Live, and even semi-famous YouTubers were completely full. Like, there was literally no way for me to get into the Connor Frana meetup or anything. So instead of waiting in line for 3 hours for nothing, we obviously decided to go to the amazing food trucks outside. There was like 4 of them, and they all had like generally a Spanish feel, which, you know, I'm into. So we went to the empanada truck, and the food was amazing. I had this beautiful like milk chocolate empanada with like sea salt caramel inside. Like, it was fantastic. Anyway, so I was going through my Twitter, obviously, because you got to keep up with the YouTubers, because they were doing impromptu crap the whole entire time. And I quickly saw that Miranda was going to be on the Full Sail stage, which was kind of like a tiny stage outside next to the trucks, where smaller YouTube talent and other shows would be. So I was like, oh, well, hopefully Miranda will actually be there. So I told my sister, and we ended up just kind of sitting out there, watched the cool people perform. We saw the Boyle brothers, picture here. They were really good. You should really check them out. And then Frankie Grande came on stage, which I had no idea was going to happen. And I was like, oh my goodness, like, Ariana Grande's brother, and it was fantastic, and you are the best, and your pants are beautiful. Anyways, after that, my queen, literally my everything, Miranda Sings, comes on stage and owns it. She sings with Frankie, she walks across the stage like a goddess, and I was literally just standing there in awe. I was front row, and she pointed at me, and it was beautiful, and basically my whole life changed, and I still kind of cry about it today, not gonna lie. Well, this whole day has been happening. I had been looking for my friend and fellow YouTuber, Jack Dodge. You guys probably know of him. I wrote the outro song for his videos, and he's an inspiration to me and one of the main reasons why I started YouTube. And I had really wanted to meet him at Playlist, and we've been talking about it, and it was super great. But literally every time we tried to find him, we just missed him. Like, apparently he was sitting behind Ben J at the trailer panel, and I didn't even see him. Like, it was insane. But at this impromptu Miranda concert, I go over to where Miranda looked like she was going to be meeting some people, and I literally bump into Jack. Like, I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Holy crap, it's Jack. And he was like, oh my god, it's Becca. And it was honestly the most amazing thing to actually meet the person who's helping your YouTube career, and also just a great friend in general, to meet them in real life and like be like, oh my god, you are not just a person who answers my DMs and who I watch on the screen. You are real, and you smell really nice, and you're really sweet to me, and you give really good hugs. And we took the cutest selfie I think I've ever taken. Insert here. And we took a nicer picture with us. And I also took a nicer high quality picture with Benjay because that first selfie that he tweeted, which happened to get 50 favorites, but anyways, that nice high quality picture was so much better than that selfie. And side note, when I put it on Tumblr, he reblogged it, favorited it, and said he'd save it to his phone. And I just love him so much, and it was so crazy because I was like, oh my god, like, Benjay knows who I am, and yep. A lot of things like that happened. It was a lot to take in. And yeah, it was so great to meet like friends, and like Jack was like, oh, we should hang out later, and I was like, yeah, definitely. And then him and Benjay left, and I was like, oh my god, Kristen, like I actually have internet friends, like this is so great, and they're YouTubers, and I kind of wanted to puke, but you know, held it inside, kept it clean, kept it cool. Okay, so after the Miranda concert, we were kind of like, I guess, beat and kind of defeated because we didn't really get to do the things that I wanted to do that day, which is fine, but you know, like there's obviously certain people that I wanted to meet and I didn't really get around to, so we were just kind of walking around the expo hall hoping to, I don't know, I mean, I was hoping to casually just bump into Lo Anthony or Troye Sivan or someone, but that didn't happen. Instead, I bumped into Niki of Niki and Sammy. If you follow me on Twitter and or Tumblr, or if you've even watched at least one of my videos, you guys know how much I love Niki and Sammy. They are so funny, so talented. Their editing on their videos gives me goosebumps, and they are honestly one of the best content creators I've ever watched. Anyways, I'm walking towards the merch table, and it's kind of over here, and it's kind of dark in the expo hall and freezing, like literally so cold. Anyways, I'm walking, and I kind of hear a voice that kind of sounds like Niki, and I was like, oh well, I'm definitely just too thirsty to meet them, like that's definitely not them. And all of a sudden, I hear Becca, and lo and behold, it's Niki of Niki and Sammy. It was so exciting. He gave me the biggest hug, and he smelled so nice, and I was like, wow, it's Niki. Like, I watch all your videos all the time, and honestly, when you're meeting a YouTuber that you see on the screen all the time, you have no idea how to react in real life. Like, you think you'll have it under control, but you don't. You really, really don't. And he was just so nice, and he asked me how I was doing and if I enjoyed the playlist, and it was like, basically like we have been best friends forever. And apparently he had lost Sammy, which was totally fine. I mean, I guess that happens. And I had lost my sister, so I was like, cool, like let's find them together. And we went to the hall, and we took super cute pictures, as you can see here. That's the one with just Niki. And he was just so kind. And then he was like, all right, well, if you find Sammy and or Jack, because he was also looking for Jack, because they're friends too, just let me know and like tell him to find me. And I was like, okay, sure, like I'll see you soon. So me and Kristen are walking out of the expo hall, and we're like, she's like, wow, you actually have internet friends. And I'm like, I know, so cool. And then I'm like, oh, is that Niki again? But then it's Sammy. And I was like, oh my god, it's Sammy. He's like, oh my god, it's Becca. And we gave each other a hug. And I was like, wow, let me bring it to your brother. And I brought them back together. And then I took a picture with both of them, seen here. And we talked for a little, and it was just so amazing to finally meet them and like tell them like, wow, like you also inspired me to start YouTube, and you helped me, and you did the gargling challenge. And that was insane because I tagged you in it. Also, I'll put a link in the description bar below, but I was in one of their vlogs. So that was pretty cool. And I'm in the thumbnail, so I mean, I'm basically internet famous. And it was just so nice to meet people that I watch on the screen. And yeah, I love playlists. Okay, so as a person who enjoys YouTube, I'm pretty sure everyone at the convention could tell you that your phone loses battery in about 5 seconds flat. And there are no plugs, no charging stations. They're always full of people. So you kind of have to get creative with charging your things, and you kind of have to sacrifice like, hey, do I want phone battery or do I want to go meet people? And real talk, I picked charging my phone battery a lot more than I probably should have. But I mean, whatever, what are you going to do? So we are in this, we found a plug, thank God, like a empty plug that no one had found yet, and we were kind of just charging our phones in the hallway. Like, my sister was watching Sons of Anarchy on Netflix, and we were just kind of chilling and taking a break from like all the excitement that playlist has. And I go to the bathroom, and my sister calls me, and she's like, hey, Becca, I think Alfie is in the hallway talking to Louise. And I was like, that's insane. If Alfie's going to be there and Louise, there's going to be a mob of fangirls around them, and there's no way we can talk to them. She's like, just come down, like, just check it out, like, just walk by, like, don't make any eye contact or anything, but just make sure. So, as we're walking past, there's, like, chairs in the hallway, and it's actually freaking Alfie and Louise talking like casual normal people, I mean, which they are, but just talking and being themselves, and I was like, oh my god, it's Alfie, like, I mean, hello, you're a famous British YouTuber, I'm in love with you, I would love to meet you, and you're amazing, so that's cool. However, as I was walking by and I sat down next to my sister, I realized that Alfie and Louise looked excessively depleted. They looked tired, they looked just kind of done, and they looked like they were having a heart to heart. And I wasn't about to interrupt something like that because, as you will see, my current theme of my entire life is that YouTubers are people too, and they need privacy, and they deserve respect. And I just think that everyone needs to take a step back sometimes and be like, hey, let's not mob the regular people. Let's give them some space to breathe and not give them panic attacks, because they deserve the same stuff that we get, and we should be nice to them and give them stuff that they deserve because they make us smile all the time. And so, no, I did not mob them and scream and yell. I actually kind of left them alone for a little bit. My sister had the brilliant idea of drawing them a picture. We drew them the corniest first grader awful pictures that you probably have ever seen. I mean, mine was literally a heart with arms and legs that said, I love you, in a thought bubble. And we both kind of wrote like, hey, instead of asking for a picture, we'd love to give you one. We don't want anything. We just want to make you smile the way you make us smile. And so I took the pictures and I just kind of went over and was like, excuse me, hello, hi. And they were obviously very defensive, which is completely understandable. They were like, well, we're not trying to get pictures or anything, so can you just make this quick? And I was like, no, I don't want anything from you. I want to give you something in return for what you have given me, which is laughs and smiles and actually new friends. And I gave them the pictures, and the smiles and the way their faces lit up that when they saw that I didn't want anything from them, honestly made the whole playlist trip worth it. We talked to them for a little. They were so humble and so down to earth and so sincere, like, thank you for not treating us like celebrities, because while they are, and like, well, I mean, I guess they are, they're famous YouTubers, and like, obviously I want a picture with them, but I'm not going to press you into it because you are people too. So we had a conversation, and I got a hug from Alfie, and he wished me happy birthday, and so did Louise, and I got a hug, and in the end, I actually did get a picture with him. Seen here. And it's super cute, even though it's a little hair, like, reaching for Alfie. It's probably my subconscious telling me I love you. And they were just so kind and so willing to give, even if they were tired and had just gotten over a panic attack. They were just so willing to give. And just a side note, I posted the picture and the little blurb of the story that I just told you guys on Tumblr, and they both reblogged it, and they both added things saying that it was a pleasure to meet me, and they both favorited it, and now it has over 2,900 notes. So that means, like, my face is on other people's blogs, and, like, Walls with Alfie and Louise, like, basically my selfie got famous. So what I'm trying to say is selfie game hella strong. After that basically awe-inspiring, life-changing moment, day one of playlist was coming to a close, and my sister and I were just kind of sunbathing, eating pizza on a patch of grass in between the towers of the hotel. And I'm going through Twitter, as previously said, gotta do the whole entire time. And I'm looking through, and Andrew Lau of Andrew LX, aka one of my favorite and the most funniest person I have ever watched on YouTube, decides to tweet that he's going to play Simon Says with the crowd. And as you can see in these pictures, we basically were their slaves. And we basically laid down, we Andrewed for them, and it was kind of amazing. I mean, I was totally okay with being their slave. Anyways, to thank us, I guess, or they just kind of came down in an impromptu meetup, and they were immediately swarmed. But being patient and just kind of working my way through and not really yelling or pushing, I got to meet Andrew, picture here, who wished me a happy birthday, gave me a hug, took a selfie, was the sweetest, and I also met Rebecca Black, picture here, and she was so nice, and she is really pretty, and I was kind of intimidated. I was like, holy crap, at 13 you were viral for your video, and I'm 16 and I eat Cheez-Its in an hour. Like, I can eat a whole box, and that's all I've ever achieved. And that's what Jack was there as well. However, he was too far away from the crowd, so I didn't get a picture with him. But I did get a wave. So, I mean, killing it. And that was basically the first day of playlist, and I was pretty set. It was a lot to take in, especially that whole Alfie thing, and meeting Niki and Sammy and Jack, and like all these YouTube friends that I've always looked up to. It was a lot to take in, but there's always the second day of playlist.